get good at finding money and then rolling over money. So this guy's one of the best guys on my team doing it right now. So I want you guys to give a big round of applause, take some notes, get excited, get fired up for Matt Chang.
Realize how blessed we are being in WFG. Yep. Totally blessed. But also too, keep in mind the things you have today are a lot of things that people wish that they had. You know, I'm gonna let's see. Okay. I'm gonna show you guys something. We'll start with a few things. Okay. This has been my schedule. Let me ask you a question though. What are you doing to get in front of more people? Because the more people you're in front of, the better chance you have of helping people. And not only helping people, but what do you get to, you know, what happens when you help people? You get paid. Right? Right now I'm doing an average of 3 to 4 appointments a day. A day. I mean, some people would kill that to do that in a week, let alone in a freaking month. Yeah. Right? Beauty being full-time in WFG. But I'm also good at what we do, right? Doing what I'm doing right now plays to my strengths. I think outside of most of the SMDs in this room, I'm probably the strongest field trainer that can go out and get a result. But I will tell you, I've spent a lot of time mastering our craft. And my point being is, what are you doing to master your craft when you're not at your job and you're not on appointments and you're not prospecting? What books are you reading? What videos are you watching? Who are you hanging around? Right? Like, who was I talking to the other night? The other night somebody was asking me, Matt, what do you do at night? I was like, I don't watch TV. That's for damn sure. Right? I watch a lot of videos on YouTube about, you know, leadership, business, finance. I'm reading books. I'm going to give you guys a book that you absolutely have to get your hands on. And I mentioned this book before. It's Stress-Free Retirement by Patrick Kelly. You guys have heard the 2 other books we mentioned is Tax-Free Retirement and The Retirement Miracle. This book right here is all about what I'm going to talk about tonight, fixed index annuities. Okay, Stress-Free Retirement by Patrick Kelly. Okay, by the way, you can't buy this at Barnes & Nobles. It's either you buy it through Amazon or directly on his website. Buy it from Amazon, it's a lot cheaper, by like $5. Right? And I would suggest probably buy a few of them, because then you can be giving these books out to people, right? So there's one thing. So really, you know, ask yourself, what am I doing every single day to master my craft? Okay, let's see. Where is it? Okay. And this is mine. This is a talk I had just given a couple weeks ago. I participate in a networking group in Chino Hills every Thursday. Okay, so I've given an opportunity every couple weeks to talk about WFG and what we do. Now, here's the thing I want you guys to realize: you have to be smart about how you present. The group of people that are in that room are all 40 plus. I'm probably the youngest person in that room. So now, knowing that most of the people are 40 plus, you know how I think? They probably changed jobs a few different times, right? So they probably have some 401ks, or they know some people in the same kind of position, or they've changed jobs a few different times, right? But now I'm gonna give you guys some nuggets on how I'm finding all these rollovers. Just today alone, I found almost $200,000 to roll over. Just today. Imagine I'm doing that 5 days a week. Nick talks about doing $1 million a month in rollovers. Shoot, what if you're rolling over $1 million a week? Just kind of give you guys a comp example. As an MD, that would pay me 25 grand. right? That's what I used to make an entire, actually that's more than what I used to make an entire year at Costco wholesale. Busting my tail, working 40 plus hours a week. Imagine you do that here in WFG in a month, in a week, even a day, right? Like Eddie and I, we got a pretty big appointment on Friday, which I'm excited for. So potentially roll over between $1.5 million to $2 million. That would compensate, if we just roll over 1.6, which is what we're looking at, Eddie would make, what we were talking about, 26 grand?
26, yep.
And I would make 20 grand as a split.
Well,
As a split. By the way, who carries a life license? Raise your hand. Same license.
Yes, sir.
I'm just using it more efficiently. That's all I'm doing. I'm not doing anything different than you guys. Well, maybe I'm doing it something a little different, but it's about asking a lot more questions than what you guys are asking for right now, right? So my talk tonight is going to be about fixed index annuities, how they work, why it's an advantage for the client. Then I'm going to transition into, okay, I'm going to give you guys the questions I'm asking to find this money. Reggie just saw it today on 2 different appointments.
I did.
Right? he actually texted me, what was that, Sunday night, I think he texted me? Or was that Monday? No, Sunday night. He texted me Sunday night, dude, let me know when your next appointment is, I want to go with you. Because I told Nick I was going to start posting on the WeChat, but Eddie, Reggie took initiative and said, hey, I want to be the first one to go with you.
Nice.
By the way, he wants to abuse his SMD contract, and I don't blame him. I'm abusing my MD contract, doing all these appointments, right? So let's talk about a little bit about annuities. By the way, guys, this, you have to remember, every single day, I'm going to give you a statistic, every single day, right, 10,000 people hit retirement age that they can move their money from their retirement.
Let's go, dude. Let's go.
You guys realize, that's $70 trillion that's just sitting there, waiting for you guys to move it. And if the average client is doing, I'll tell you right now, the average client has between about 150 to 200 grand. If you're doing 200 grand at 5%, what is that? 10,000 points, right? Okay, 10,000 points as an MD, that's 5 grand. By the way, no chargebacks. Not a bad payday, right? That's one client, right? So let's talk about these and how they work. Okay. So what are some of the biggest concerns people have when it comes to their retirement? Protecting their principal, right? Everybody wants to protect their money. They don't want to lose money. They want to participate in the market. They want to make sure they have enough money for retirement. Right? I'm going to kind of quickly stop on that. How many of you guys understand how Social Security works, just in general? Okay, you should learn and study how Social Security works. Because the closer a person gets to 67, which is considered full retirement age, can you imagine working till 67? For most people, like, man, I would love to make it to 67 and stop working. These are the conversations I'm having out in the field. We're in freaking WFG. We can retire before you're even 30 or 40. Right? Well, we can give them a clear, concise outlook of what they're going to get for retirement. But also, too, how are they going to pass on a legacy to the heirs if they're not around long enough to enjoy their retirement money? Right? These are the number one worry that most people have, I will tell you guys, is outliving their money. Silent, Lupe, silent.
I will.
There's a switch for that on the side.
Got it.
Right?
Yep.
That is the number one concern for people, is outliving their retirement money. So, there is a solution for it, and it's an annuity. Okay? By definition, an annuity provides guaranteed income for a person's retirement no matter how long they live. Okay? This is what really matters in understanding how this type of product works. Okay? An annuity is a contract with a life insurance company that somebody uses a lump sum of money or subsequent premiums to purchase this contract, and at a designated time, they can start withdrawing income for either life or for a period certain. So I'm going to explain both of them. Life benefit means, let's just say, I sit down with Thomas and Janina, and they have $500,000. We put it inside of an annuity, as an example, and let's just say 10 years down the road, let's just say it's $625,000, okay? Thomas and Janina have two options on how to withdraw the funds to take retirement income. One, they can take life benefits, so meaning they'll figure out based on the person's age, how much money they got, and actuary tables, they'll say, okay, Thomas will live for, say, 20 years. Okay, so somebody take out a calculator, whoever's ready. Okay, take 625,000 and divide it by 20. What is that number?
31,250.
Okay, so that's per year from that 625 grand. Now divide that by 12.
2,604.
Okay, so the day Thomas and Gina decide to start taking income for life, what's that number again?
2,604.
Say, so $2,600 a month for the rest of your life as you're alive. Okay, now let's just say 20 years goes by, Thomas is 85, but he's still alive. Even though he's used up all the money, guess what the insurance company is still doing? They're still paying them a monthly benefit every single month until they do die. Now, if they were to die, if he were to pass away before he can use all the money, whatever's left over is a death benefit to the family. It's a win-win situation. Okay, that's one way. The other way is what we call period certain. So period certain meaning, let's say Thomas says, you know what, I don't need it for 20 plus years, let's maximize it over the next 10 years. Right? So 625,000 divided by 10 years is what, 62 grand a year? Am I doing my math right? So that's roughly about $5,000 a month for the next 10 years. But that means after 10 years, all the money's gone. But now also too, you also have to explain to the client, if you pass away before you use up all the money, you forfeit the rest of the money.
That's with the period certain.
That's with the period certain. So you make sure you disclose both to the client
So if he passes away, you said?
before they use up all the money, right? They basically forfeit the rest of the money. So if Thomas is used, say, 350,000 out of the 625,000 he did in a period certain, the rest of the 300 grand is pretty much gone. Okay. This is what we talk about mastering your craft, knowing every little nut and bolt.
Question.
Yes.
For an annuity, do they have to qualify for it, or they just have to have the money for it?
Depends on, well, it depends, it really depends on their income and what they have in expenses, because there is a suitability sheet to make sure that it is suitable for the client. So like, as an example, let's just say their combined household income is, say, 100 grand, and their expenses are, say, I don't know, give or take, say, 50 grand a year. House, you know, all that other stuff, so that discretionary $50,000 a year. In the suitability form, they ask how much they have in savings, what they have in investments, what they have in their 401k. Like, they ask every little thing, because if something happens where they want to make sure that the client's not coming back to the insurance company to take money out of that annuity. That's the main point. Like, I was helping Cynthia with a case because she's like, they won't take it because they don't have enough money saved. Yeah, probably because their expenses are too high, and if something happens, they're probably going to try and dip into the annuity. So they try and avoid that, right? Because there are penalties for a client with, you know, cashing out an account. There's a surrender period just like an IUL, right? So that's why you want to make sure you understand how it works. Now, because if you get a question and you don't know how to answer, you're going to look pretty dumb in front of the client. They're not going to trust you. And if they don't trust you, you're not moving the money. If you're not moving the money, guess what? You're not making any money. Right? So what types of annuities are there? There's really two types. There's a variable annuity, so meaning the money is still directly invested in the market, but it's with the life insurance company, right? The other type is a fixed annuity, so the money is guaranteed to never lose value. The money grows at a fixed interest rate of 2 to 4%. A lot of people are like, well, that's better than the bank. That's true, right? And then now, what if there's a hybrid between the two? So what if you could protect the principal of your money and still participate in the market growth at the same time? By the way, that's a question you want to write down. And by the way, that also would apply to an IUL. Right, but in this case, we're talking about rollovers. There is such a solution. Remember, guys, I want to teach you guys something every little bit, every time I'm up here to give you guys value. Try and avoid words like product, right? You have a solution. People don't like the word product. You have solutions. The solution is a fixed index annuity. The money mirrors the return of a specific index up to a cap or participation rate. Okay, so that means most fixed index annuities you're going to write will have a cap or a participation percentage of whatever that index does. So as an example, most FIAs or fixed index annuities will mirror the S&P 500, and most will cap out at about roughly 10 to 12% per year. That's the cap on that, right? But now there are other types of allocations where they say, okay, you get a percentage of a participation of an index. So they might say, okay, we'll give you, say, a cap of 10%, but we're going to give you 140% participation of that index. So that means, let's just say the S&P 500, just to keep things simple, did say 5%. So 140% of 5% is how much? 7%, I'll just tell you guys. Because what's 4 times 5? Basically 20. So it's 2%. So it's 140% of the S&P 500. So that means your cap is still 10% no matter what, but you're getting a higher participation rate. You guys follow? But that also means that the S&P 500, say, did 10%, it doesn't matter what the participation is, the cap's still 10%. So usually participation rates are great in a very low market. Or like, they're already expecting another market correction, that would be a good time for it. Right? Now here's a quick video, it's about 3 minutes explaining how it works. So let me make sure this is loud enough, first of all.
When you think about the years ahead.
Apologize. Sorry. It's not loud enough on my laptop.
When you think about the years ahead, what are you looking forward to? For most people, the answer is a nice balance of favorite pastimes and new adventures. Busy and tranquil moments. Balance is also important in your financial life, between reward and risk, nest egg preservation and growth. No one knows what the future holds. That's why indexed annuities attract the attention of retirement savers looking to achieve some balance and peace of mind, no matter what happens in the financial markets. In 2008 and 9, Americans lost an unprecedented amount of retirement savings because of stock market volatility. Those who own indexed annuities lost nothing. So what are annuities? And specifically, indexed annuities? All annuities are basically a contract between you and an insurance company. You pay for the annuity in either a single lump sum or multiple payments over time. In return, the insurance company promises to pay you money from the annuity in a single or series of payments. Like many other longer-term financial products, annuities have a surrender fee or early withdrawal, the terms of which depend on your contract. There are 2 categories of annuities, fixed and variable. With variable, the consumer assumes the risk for the annuity's value, and with fixed, the insurance company assumes the risk. An indexed annuity is a type of fixed annuity, but it has a distinct way of calculating annual interest, using a formula based on changes in the performance of a stock, bond, or commodity index. The index is used as an external benchmark. You do not actually invest in it. While the interest you earn, and when you get it, depend on the features of your particular contract. Generally, indexed annuities have an interest rate floor, a participation rate, and a cap that determine the amount of interest you earn. Your interest earnings rate always remains somewhere between the floor and the cap. It does not rise above the cap, even if the index goes higher. Conversely, it never falls below 0, even if the index goes way down. So the value of your money will never decline for as long as it is in the annuity. But it can increase with a rising index. Once interest is credited, it also can never be lost due to interest rate adjustments or negative market fluctuations, and it may even compound. That means more potential growth than other fixed annuities or simple savings plans. and less risk than variable annuities and other more volatile investments, bringing some balance to your retirement plan. Like all annuities, the index type offers tax-deferred growth. You aren't taxed on interest earnings while your money stays in the annuity. The process of choosing an index annuity can also give you peace of mind. These financial products are backed by some of the world's largest, most reputable insurance companies and can only be sold by licensed insurance professionals who are mandated to receive product-specific training. Companies are required in most cases by their state's insurance department to ensure that every indexed annuity sale is suitable for the customer's age, financial situation, and goals. And while agents are paid commissions, no sales compensation is ever deducted from your annuity principal. Now that you know the basics about indexed annuities, learn more here.
Pretty cool, huh?
Yeah.
By the way, that's on YouTube.
It's crazy.
It's a good about 3-4 minute explanation. So if somebody says, well, how does it work? If you have this saved on your computer, here you go. Briefly explains it. Right? Now, by the way, because we are in WFG, we're a non-captive company, guess what? You work with all these carriers and more. You're not tied to one product and one service like one-trick ponies like Primerica. Right? State Farm, Farmers, Munich Life, MetLife, which is Bright House now, to correct myself. Right? But you have to remember, when somebody asks, well, why should I work with you versus somebody at New York Life or State Farm? It's like, let me ask you, whose best interest do you think that they have, you or them? Because I completely disclose it. I think Reggie heard me say, all the carriers, they pay us the same. Which is true, right? But we custom tailor every single plan to what's important to them, right? That's our advantage in the marketplace. Is giving them, it's like, okay, Mark, here's the menu. Go ahead and pick and choose what you want for your family. That's literally what we do, right? There is no other company doing what we're doing. Yeah, there's like little rinky-dink companies like PHP, FEG, and all these little companies, but they ain't doing what we're doing. By the way, I have friends in those companies, they ain't coming close. Saying, oh dude, it's so much better over here. No, it's not, bro. You haven't even made 10 grand in a month. I have. I'm like, I have my watch, chasing down my ring. I was telling Reggie, I got my ring order form ready to go. I already did the math. I need to average a minimum of 22 grand a month. The next 3 months, I would have my ring.
Bro.
MD in the base shop. Right? Because by the way, I have the old S&D contract. There should be no reason why I can't get it. Right? So now you guys can see this. It's like, okay, shoot, we could have different options, right? I was just on the phone with Crump earlier today. Allianz is a very big insurance company, and there's only a few ways you can get appointed with them through WFG. It's one, you're already securities licensed. By the way, they have some really great fixed index annuities and some really great variable annuities. There are only a couple ways you can get appointed with them. It's one, you're duly licensed. That's one way. You carry a professional designation like CLU, CFP, like, you know, Certified Financial Planner, all this other stuff. Or you're a CPA, or you've done at least $500,000 in annuity production. Okay, this year alone, I'm at almost, let's see, 556. I'm almost at almost 700. So as soon as my other $100,000 annuity kicks in, I'm looking at Allianz. Because the minimum production is 500 grand. I'm like, all right, it's already done. I just need the other annuity to hit. Right? It's just waiting for funds, which I need to follow up on, which reminds me. Right? Now, as I wrap up, and then I'm going to go into how I ask the questions. What are the advantages? Guaranteed principal, ability to grow with the market with no fear of loss, guaranteed income for life, and here's the biggest one, where you can shove it to a traditional advisor, no fees. I want you guys to realize there's something I was reflecting on in this book. A lot of people make the argument that, well, I have my advisor. That's good. But now let me ask you, do you know how much money he's making off of you? They're like, what do you mean? Yeah. They charge a fee out of your account balance to manage your account, whether you're making money or you're losing money. Don't you think if you're paying a fee, you should never lose money? You should have certain fringe benefits, so to speak? And they're like, yeah, that would make sense. Well, I'll tell you, having your money inside of the annuity, there's absolutely no fee. Pretty cool, right?
Mm-hmm.
And typically I have a 2-minute conversation on how to roll over money, right? I'll kind of give it to you guys, and I'm recording it, so you guys will reflect on the YouTube channel. It's like, let's just say I'm sitting down with CJ and his wife, right? And let's just say they have 300 grand in his TSP, because I know he's previous military, right? So I'll have a conversation with CJ, like, CJ, okay, you got this 300 grand, you don't know what to do with it, right? Which is most people, so don't feel bad, right? What if I told you, if your funds qualify, that we could roll it over into an account that guarantees your principal, you'll never lose a penny based on market performance? Be pretty cool, right? Now also too, you may, well not you may, but you can potentially participate in market growth up to a cap, or depending on what you want to do, potentially qualify for a product or solution with no cap on the earnings. We'll give you potentially a client appreciation bonus just for doing business with us. And we can help make sure that you pass on wealth and avoid probate. And you understand how probate works, right?
Yes.
Transfer of assets, the whole deal through the court. Okay. If I could help you qualify for that solution, when would you take advantage of it? Now or in 5 years?
Now.
Okay, great. So we already know how much you got. Okay, what are you really going to use it for? Are you going to use it for retirement or for legacy planning?
Retirement.
Retirement. Okay, great. So now that I know how much he's got and what he's going to use it for, I go to my menu of annuities and I help pick and choose which one's best for him and his family. Just with those simple questions, right? Now, a lot of these appointments I'm doing, you guys know I'm doing all these para appointments with teachers, faculty, firefighters, law enforcement. When I get down to the pages, ask them, okay, what other supplement retirement plans have you started? By the way, that's on the form. And let's say, well, I have my deferred comp. Okay, great. How much do you got in it right now? And is it with your current employer or is it with a previous employer? Okay, you want to write that down. Is that with your current employer or with your previous employer? And that also applies if they've worked at a company that had a 401k. And you can even bluntly ask them, hey, have you changed jobs recently? Right? These are questions you want to be asking. Hey, have you changed jobs recently? Did you have an old retirement plan? And if they say, yeah, actually I had an old 401k, have you done anything with it? Guess what most people say? No, I haven't done nothing with it. Really? You remember what happened in 2008, right? They're like, yeah, my parents lost money, I lost some money. So what are you doing to protect yourself from another 2008? That's something you need to write down. What are you doing to prevent another 2008? And if you talk to someone that's in their 40s or 50s, and you ask them that question, that makes their stomach cringe. Elizabeth's sitting over there like, yeah, right? Now Elizabeth, now imagine how many people you know that's changed jobs over the years. Okay? Now have you sat in front of them is the question, right? If you know people that change jobs, it's like, oh, you just changed jobs, we need to talk. I want to help you protect your assets. I want to help you grow your assets, right? And I'll continue to ask, okay, what else you got? Reggie, hear me, what else you got? What else you got? What else you got? And they just, well, I got this, and I have this, and I have this. Once everything's laid out in front of me, then I'll say, okay, you have a total of this. This is what these are performing. By the way, it shows the average rate of return, how much the balance is, everything. And I say, okay, this is what I would recommend. And I explain how an annuity works. Right? So these are some of the questions I'm asking on the field. What else do you got? Do you understand how your 401k, your IRA, your TSP, your CalSTRS, your CalPERS, you understand really how it works? And I will tell you guys 9 times out of 10 they say no. But also too, one of the questions I ask is, right, because most people think about retirement, $1 million question. You guys have heard me say this before. Do you know what your tax bracket is going to be when you hit 65? And they'll say, oh, I don't even know. Can you imagine not knowing what your tax bracket is going to be, but you've been putting your money inside of a tax-deferred vehicle like a 401k, which, by the way, can help segue to an IUL, right? This is an example, the $456,000 annuity that just got funded. I'm waiting for Friday, because that's when it's going to post. It's like 22,000 points in that neighborhood. So it's a, by the way, that's a direct deposit of probably around 10 to 12 grand. Okay, my biggest cycle ever in WFG in one cycle has been 3,500. I'm about to triple it. By the way,
3,500, your biggest one?
yeah, dude. 3,500, MD in the base shop. Right?
That's a lot of cheek sticks.
But imagine, I'm no different than you guys. Imagine these people I'm sitting down with are all people with bachelors, masters, PhDs, doctorates. Right? Well, a life license. 10 G's in the bank, cash money. Okay? So this example, this lady had 450,000. This is a nationwide U Heights 8. Yep, this is the one I just did. Right? I love this part because it's very simplistic.
Look at this.
Literally 1 to 2 moving parts and that's it. But how I explained it to her is if you look, in roughly 11 years, she doubled the money with compound interest. Okay, I'm working on another $100,000 case right now.
So what's the minimum return
So,
and max? What's the
this one,
yeah?
0% floor, no cap. 100% participation in whatever the JP Morgan Mosaic 2 does.
Ooh, that's a good index.
By the way, this specific index has almost mirrored what the S&P 500 does, except for the down years. It's done maybe 0.5%, maybe 1%. But even there are stellar years where the S&P does say like 15, 20, this one will do like 7 to 8. And by the way, that's proven by numbers. But of course, like we always disclose, past performance is not an indicator of future performance.
So this is just showing a hypothetical 6.5.
This is conservative, guys. This is 6.5%.
It shows you what the last 12 days too, right?
Yeah.
12 years.
Now imagine, look at this, guys. 3 years later, cash millionaire. Cash millionaire. You know what sold her the most though? Guaranteed principal and doubled her money in 10 years. That's what sold her.
Guaranteed principal, you said?
Guaranteed principal, double her money in 10 years. By the way, life license, didn't need a securities, don't need 6 and 6 which I'm studying for. I'm waiting to reopen my window.
What? Why does it say surrender value $1 million and then also?
Because there's still a surrender charge. There's still a surrender charge.
So then upon that value is the monthly.
So what they will give you, right? The surrender value.
So that's the walk away, right?
Yeah, this is the walk away.
Right.
This is what they can draw from.
Gotcha.
But you notice after the 8th year,
Yeah.
it's all the same. Just like an IUL. 10th, 15th year, everything's equaled out. You're good to go.
Damn, that is nuts.
Okay, now here, who's got it? Eddie, you got your calculator?
14 years in and they're at $1 million.
Nuts, dude. Okay,
Okay,
yeah.
imagine this. Okay, type in 990,000,
990,000.
841.
990, 841.
Divide that by 20.
It's 49,542.
A year for the rest of her life.
That's
That's how you
4,128.
calculate it? Is you divide it by 20?
Because that's the actuary table. They typically do 20
She's
years.
68 years old right now.
Yeah.
So she,
Yeah.
Oh, lifespan, you're
imagine
saying?
contracts issued at
88,
56.
They'll pay out that much a year.
Imagine contracts issued at 56. She said, I still got other money I'm like, I don't need it right away.
To live off
So
of.
she'll probably defer it for a couple more years. She's gonna make another 50 grand a
That's
year.
$4,100 a month.
Yeah, another 50 grand a year for the rest of her life until she dies, if she lives that long. Like, you guys talk about doing what's right for the client and putting them in a much better financial position. This is the way you do it if they have a lump sum of money. Okay? Now, let me kind of give you guys a few other things. How many of you guys know a real estate agent? Everybody should know a real estate agent. Everybody should be raising their freaking hand right now.
Yeah, know me, right?
Okay. Let me give you guys a nugget. Okay? When you talk to a real estate agent, ask them, hey, who do you know that's selling their home and downsizing right now? Okay? Who do you know that's selling their home and downsizing? They say this client. Okay? What do you think their expected payout is that they're going to get from downsizing? X amount of dollars. Okay? I want to talk to them about helping them build their portfolio and taking that money and leveraging it for retirement income versus just blowing it. Because that's what most people do.
You make me wanna sell my home and downsize it. Like double what I paid for my house.
Okay. I'll tell you, if you did that, talk to Nick, okay? But now here's the thing, I'd do it two different ways. I'd probably put some in an annuity, but depending on how much more money you get, do a premium deposit into an IUL, let it fund it over time. You guys don't know nothing about that.
Hey guys, guests are ready. They're filling out the card. They're ready to get started, by the way.
Okay, who had guess?
They don't wanna go.
Stella, and you guys, right? I'm gonna keep going, right? I'm with you guys for about 5 more minutes and Nick's gonna wrap up, right? So pay attention, guys. Hey, come on, all right. But just imagine, right? Imagine if you're having that conversation with a real estate agent and tell them, by the way, if you give me that referral, I'll make sure I compensate you for the referral. Then they'd be happy with like a couple $100, even though you're probably gonna make a couple thousand. Yeah, they don't need to know how much you're gonna make. Shoot, just give them like a $200 in cash or however you wanna do it, like a bottle of Dom Perignon, whatever.
Tom P.
Right? But that's what I'm doing to find more referrals and rollovers. Like some of you guys that were here for my annuity training a few months ago, I had a lady that specializes in trust and probate real estate, and she came and sat in. And a few weeks ago, I did this presentation. Hey, who do you know that's downsizing or getting ready to sell a home? And she's like, I got 3 people for you. I'm gonna have that conversation. Like, how many people are you really talking to and getting in front of that you can be doing something like this?
I don't know.
If you do something as simple as like $100,000, 5% of 100 grand is what, 5,000 points? Okay? Even if you're a training associate, what's 25% of 5 grand? Like 1,500 bucks? Yeah, 1,500 bucks. Okay, whether it's qualified money like an IRA or 401k, or even maybe it's an inheritance or a sale of a home, non-qualified funds. No chargebacks either. You're right. No chargebacks either. Go ahead, CJ.
Do you have to call Crump to actually run the illustrations?
In certain cases, yes. But because we have access to a lot of the product providers, and if you're contracted with them or playing with them, you can directly go on their website and run illustrations. Like I ran this illustration myself on the Nationwide website. I also do it for a theme as well. Yeah, exactly. Like today I did one of the appointments I did, he's got 140 grand inside of an IRA. And I said, you understand how your IRA works, right? He's like, yeah, if I use up all the money, it's gone. I was like, right. But do you know how long it's gonna last? He's like, no. Right? And I said, okay. And I introduced the idea of how an annuity works. It takes like 2 minutes. And I literally said, okay, let me show you what this would look like inside of this. Right? I'll just show it to you guys. Okay.
I'm not doing it.
What did I do here? Did I not save it?
Have you run it?
Yeah, I'll just rerun it.
Show how to do it.
Okay, let me change this to this so you guys can see what I'm doing. You guys see this okay?
Yeah.
All right, so once you log in, I go to fixed index annuities.
Nationwidefinancial.com.
New Heights 8, sales resources. You guys see where it says illustrator?
Yeah.
Right there. Actually, you know what? I can. Sorry, guys. I have a better idea. Here it is. Oh no, I didn't send it to him. I'll find it. Sorry, guys. Never mind. Okay. So here, I just use the illustrator. California. Okay, I'm the advisor. I use JP Morgan Mosaic. Qualified. I even showed, I showed it to him with the rider because he is older. He's 62. 140. First name.
You chose the writer, like a
Income.
He's 62. Gender, male. He's gonna wait 5 years. Because that's his plan. 6.5%. Okay, preview base. I want to show you guys the power of this. Like, when you guys actually see this, you're like, wait, I could do that? Yeah. So it's done. Well, I know. I always say that, especially with this product, uncapped. You're like, wait, what? Yeah, okay, so look at this. So check this out. So if he retires 5 years from now, from that 140 grand, $92.70 a year for the rest of his life. 92.70. So if you do the math, what is that? 92.70 divided by 12, roughly about $896 a month. On top of, so he's already got other money saved, other investments. He's going to earn $40,000 a year from his CalPERS. He's going to, because on paper he's making almost 85 grand gross income. So his CalPERS, he's going to make 40 grand a year. He's going to hit maximum benefit for Social Security, which would be $2,500 a month, which is $30,000 a year. So he's almost where he's at now. He throws this in the mix, that makes up what he's missing a month. How easy do you think it's going to be for me to sell it to him? Right? Oh, that's a zero. Sorry. My bad.
Oh, that's no more, no growth.
Sorry, my bad, my bad. Okay, 11,628. So imagine that's almost $1,000 a month the rest of his life while he's still alive. Go ahead, Eddie.
Could this be set up in such a way to where it's like the IUL, to where there is more money being made on the interest than what's being taken out?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, these, if they never really touch the money.
Let's just say that they do. Let's say they have $1 million and they can take out, let's say, 50 grand a year. But let's say they want to take out 30 instead, and they want to just let it compile. Like, just they could do that too, right?
Yes, you can tell them. They just try and maximize the benefit, how it's originally set up, but you can tell them how much to take out.
So you could make a bunch more money in it and still be taking a lot of money from it and pass it on as. So it could be a retirement tool, and then it becomes a
Also
legacy in the end.
Right. As long as you structure it the right way.
Right.
Just like how we talk about in an IUL.
Dude, that's crazy.
But guys, this is what you can do for a client. 10% per year. So imagine if they got he's got 186, whatever, or no, sorry, 186 right there. That's 18 grand if you need for an emergency, whatever, right? But that's why I started off at the very beginning. What are you doing to master your craft? Not just in product-wise, but also we recruit, right? You have to work on your recruiting skills, your communication skills, your leadership skills, right? I like what you guys heard me talk on last Tuesday. Leadership is about how many more leaders you can develop. I'm just a product of Nick's leadership. That is it. But I've taken the time also to master our craft of showing people and giving them their options when it comes to their retirement, right? So really, that's the question I ask you. What are you doing when you're not doing WFG? What are you doing to better yourself every single day, every single night? Because you guys just saw my schedule, right? I still don't go to bed till like 11:30, 12 o'clock every night, and I'm up every single morning before 6 o'clock. I'm literally only sleeping maybe 5.5, 6 hours a night, and I'm running 3, 4, 5 appointments, still here, still making phone calls, still prospecting, still closing business, helping Nick plan all these trainings, what we're gonna do, right? So there should be no reason why you guys can't spend 1 hour developing yourself. If I'm doing all that, right? And I was still, I was late to pregame, I'm sorry, but I was on another appointment, right? But what are you doing every day? That's what I'll leave you guys with. So other than that, that's my time. And give it up for our CEO.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Big shot.
All right, all right, all right. How was that?
Great.
Was that good stuff or what?
Yeah.
Man. This is awesome. This is awesome, you guys. Moving money is key. Moving money is key. Getting good at this stuff is awesome. I'm going to shift gears, and I want to talk to you guys about something that I feel is very, very important. Steve Holbrook put a blog out. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's on Instagram. It's on his Facebook. Oh yeah, here. Let me see. Hold on. What happened? Oh, here we go. Click on this real quick. I'll pull this up. You guys see this? Yes?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Making sure you guys are awake. You guys can see this, right?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Wow. I said, can you guys see this? I'm like, no one said anything. Okay, all right. So, it says the responsibility of a teammate. I thought this was interesting. I watched his live feed and I was looking at this and it just, if you're going to build something big, you got to, right? I mean, you're going to assemble a team. And this team's all got to be on the same page. So I want to read a couple of things on here. It says right here, the definition of a team. A group of people with different skills and different tasks who work together on a common project, service, or goal with a meshing of functions and and mutual support. With a team comes responsibility. So listen to this. People rely on you. So every single one of you, you're part of the team, like I had said earlier, right? So I was already kind of pre-framing you guys for talking about this. It says you have the responsibility to be the best teammate that you could possibly be. So like if you're like like in Matt's case, you're a marketing director, you're an SMD, or you're a senior associate, you're a seasoned person, like you have a responsibility to set a good example for everybody else, especially the higher up you are, right? I mean, imagine if I was, not doing what I was supposed to be doing as a CEO. That would be really bad, right? So it says it means being less selfish and acknowledging that you must be there to support your team. So sometimes people go, oh, I'm not going to make the meeting. I don't have any guests. I don't have any teammates. Or, oh, I'm having a bad day. Like, the team is relying on you to be here, right? Like, you bring energy to the team, right? We have there's a saying. It says sometimes, you need the mozone, like you need the energy, and sometimes the energy needs you, the mozone needs you. Right? If you have good energy, then we need you here.
Yep.
If you don't have good energy, then you need to be here to feed off the rest of the energy. Right? So you're adding to it or you're taking from it, right? So it says you affect your boss, mentor, leader, even your friends, spouse, and family. These are all examples of teams that every single one of us are on. When we fall short of our duties as a teammate, other leaders or other teammates are forced to step up their game because of our lack of effort. When we lack energy, other leaders and mentors around us have to bring more energy. So the more you bring, the more it adds to it, right? Yeah. When we're not being positive, other people have to bring more positivity. When we're not present, other people have to be more present. So when we're being casual, we're causing casualties around us. We need to be more aware of the ripple effect that we have. 5 responsibilities of a teammate. Is this good stuff or what?
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, this is key, you guys. This stuff you just don't learn. You don't learn this you just don't learn this. This stuff isn't taught. But check this out. Number 1, show up. This is the most basic principle of being on a team. This is a basic principle of integrity. You always need to be where you're supposed to be on a team. If you're going to be late or not going to show up, you have a responsibility to let somebody know. It's disrespectful not to. We have to take this more seriously. Most people are making a habit of being late. I don't think that it's funny. I think that it's irresponsible. When you show up late or not at all, you lack respect for other people.
Hence why
So I want you to be understand something, is that when you say something, right? There's a phrase, and actually it was at Elizabeth's house. She has this little like sign up, and I took a picture of it, and I'll switch to my I'll show. I'm not going to show it right now. One of the things it says be impeccable with your word. And so some people are really good at that, and some people are really bad. I want to challenge you to be really good with that. If you say you're going to be somewhere, you say you're going to do something, do it. If anything changes, then you need to let somebody know. You can't go around saying you're going to do stuff and then default, because it shows lack of integrity and it shows lack of trust, right? So it says if it's a one-off, I don't know, maybe that's a Canadian thing. It's not a big deal. We're all late here and there for reasons that we can't control. But if you developed a habit of being late, you're not being a good teammate. You're not being a good friend. You're not being a good employee. When you show up, you start to create security around you. There's certainty that comes when people know that you're going to be there. When you show up, you become somebody that people can rely on, and people are going to start giving you more responsibility. You will move up a little quicker because you're reliable. Right? Like, can we count on you? Right? Think about it. Being a team player, being part of a team is, can we count on you? Now, the majority of us, right, you guys are here. But there's other people that need to be here that aren't here that I'm messaging, and they're saying, well, you don't care. Like, I'm going back and forth right now with Gina, literally right here, like on my text, because she didn't let me know, she didn't say she was coming or not. So I'm like, hey, where are you at? And then she literally is making excuses, and I'm calling her out right now because I can, and she's not here. But just so you guys know, like, that's not cool. And then she's trying to be like, strong people don't put others down, they lift people up. I said, it's not hard to say, hey, I'm not going to make it. I said, so your little post, she like put a thing. She texted me a picture and said, strong people don't put others down, they lift them up. I'm like, I'm not putting her down. I literally just said, thanks for heads up and communicating with me prior to expecting you to be here. I can say more, but I'm not going to. Strong people don't put others down, they lift people up. I said, it's not hard to just let me know that you're not going to make it. I said, it's irrelevant. It's not hard to say I understand. I said, you could text. I said, you posted on Instagram. So she tried to say, my hands were full and I didn't have help at home with the kids. And I said, you can text. I said, you posted on Instagram. That's called accountability, right?
Yep.
And honestly, I could care less if she's here or not, really. Not relying on her to be here, but are you part of the team or not? Are you going to say you're going to be somewhere or not? If you're not going to make it, can you let somebody know you're not going to make it? Is that hard to ask? If this was game night, which it is, and we were all going to play in the game, and one of the teammates didn't show, didn't call, didn't text, and let anybody know, would that just be okay, or would that be weird?
Weird.
Like, hey, where's our power forward? Hey, where's our offensive tackle? Like, we're gonna do running plays, and we're missing a piece of our offensive line. And well, I don't know. She didn't say she was coming, or she didn't say she wasn't coming. So, are you okay? I mean, do we need to start checking hospitals? Do we need to call her house? Does she have a landline? Did her cell phone die?
True.
You need to call a close friend and go, hey, can you get a hold of her? You know what I'm saying? I don't know. I'm not trying to be a bad guy. I'm not trying to be I'm not trying to put someone down. It's just called accountability. Most people can't take accountability, so they take it as negative. They take it as criticism. But if you're offended, then that means you're in the wrong. That means you feel guilty about it. Anytime someone pushes back or says shit, pardon my language, but anytime someone does something, they feel guilty about it because they know they're in the wrong. And they want to point the finger and blame somebody else. Like, she's trying to blame me, straight up.
You know when you're wrong too.
And you know when you're
wrong. You can't BS yourself.
So I'm just saying, this is higher level stuff, but is this good stuff?
Yeah.
You
Definitely.
gotta be impeccable, man. You know what? You say something, do it. If something's gonna change, then you let somebody know. Other than that, can you be counted on? I'm telling you, in your relationships, in your business, in your dealings with clients, you say something, you do it, it goes a million miles further. Right?
Yep.
You can't give yourself the option not to show up. It's also not an option to be late. If you're somebody who struggles with leaving on time, leave an hour early. Be unreasonable for a while. Stop being the person who always shows up late, or worse, barely on time. Number 2, come early. I just mentioned being barely on time is late, so come early. When you're on a team, help out, ask. Don't wait for people to ask you. This is what we're talking about with pregame. Unless some of you guys are getting off work, like Elizabeth, she gets off work, she's driving from San Diego. But if you're not getting off of work, and you're barely getting here, you're late to pregame, that's unexcusable. Leave way earlier, get here at 4:30 and go, at least I'm here. But don't show up late. Come early. When you're on a team, help out, ask. Don't wait for people to ask you. I'm going to blow this up so you guys can see it bigger. Why isn't it your responsibility to put the chairs away? Why isn't it your responsibility to pick up that piece of paper on the floor? I love when people come to me and say, hey, where do you need me? Where can I help? I'm definitely going to give that person more responsibility. Like, when Janice and Byron, when they're late, they're going to be late to pregame, they let me know every single time. Hey, we're going to be late. I just got off work. We're bringing a guest. We're going to be late to pregame. Let me know, put us wherever you need us. See you soon. Mm-hmm. That's accountability.
Yep.
Right? Lupe, hey, I'm on my way. I'm running late.
Yep.
Now sometimes you have to sometimes I do question, like, is it coming from, where is it? Like, why is it why is it late all the time or whatever? But but at least there's communication, and that's part of the thing. It says in here that if you're going to be late, communicate at least. But then you need to clean up the late stuff too, right? You could call them brown nosers or teacher's pet, but I call them the most dependable people that I have. No matter where they're at in business, I can give them some responsibility, and I know they're going to pull through. There are not enough people like that in the world. I remember when Matt's not always been the top producer in my base shop. Matt was the team guy. Matt was the guy that would pick up the piece of paper in the mow zone. Matt was the guy taking out the garbage. Matt was the guy wiping down the whiteboard. Right? Matt was the guy asking, what can I do to help out? Hey, what can I get good at? Matt's mastered every single part of the BPM. He was the AV guy. He was the this, he was the that, and he worked his way up, breaking the floor, and, started earning promote, doing stuff and being more involved. And that led to being a reliable dude. Matt's a reliable guy, is he not?
Yes.
From what you guys see, is he pretty reliable?
Yes.
Right? And sometimes he could be direct and say, hey, look at me, and what are you doing, and I'm doing, but hey, he feels he deserves to talk to people like that, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so everyone's still got to work on things, and I do too. I'm not perfect, but can you be dependable? Are you a dependable person? Do you volunteer? Can you help out? Is there more you can do right now? Ask yourself, what more can I do to help this team grow? Not just you and your team, but the team. Because you helping the team is going to help your team too. Because whatever you dish out comes back to you too. You see, you're doing more stuff. Your team's going to see that and go, hey, I want to, I got that leader's back too. We're all in this together. So when you come, you can contribute by coming early. Go to lunch with the team. Stay late. Build fellowship. It's important. It's important to start paying attention to what the most successful people are doing. Stop trying to do this on your own. Stop trying to forge your own path. Success leaves clues. The most successful people are the last ones to go home because they're always building fellowship. They're always planning for it. They're building it into their routine. The least successful people are the ones who always leave first. They're always tired. They always have to get up early. Yeah, we all have to get up early. We're all tired. No matter how hard you've worked, there's probably somebody to my left or right that has worked harder. Stop making excuses for yourself on why you can't contribute. Boom! How good is that?
Good.
How good is that? You hear that?
Yeah.
And what I love about this, he ain't afraid to say it.
Right?
You know what I mean? How gold is that? Hey, the least successful people are the ones who always got to leave first. They're always tired. They got to get up early. They got a further drive. Yeah, we all have to get up early. Yeah, we're all tired. So what? Are you a team player or not? Right? 3, always be communicating. Communication helps keep the vision of the team flowing. You're either a consumer or a contributor of the vision. We don't need more consumers, we need more contributors. Are you contributing to the vision of the team? Or are you just sucking the life out of it? Think about it. One way to contribute is through communication. When you communicate it opens up space between you and your leader, your boss, your spouse. It's also important to check in with others. It's not about people keeping tabs on you or controlling you. Checking in with your leaders about accountability, touching base, letting your leadership know where you're at, how your day has been, and what you've contributed. When communication breaks down, people hide and regress. Being a better communicator can help bond a team. This is why we talk about WeChat, right? Getting more of you communicating on WeChat. That's what we're talking about here. We're talking about text messages. Hey, how's it going? What are you doing? Like, I talk to Jenny every day. Talk to Matt every day. Talk to a lot of these leaders every day, right? Lupe every day. Right? So he uses an example right here. The Calgary Flames hired a new coach this summer. The very first thing the coach did when he got the job was fly to Canada and meet all the players face to face. When asked what he talked to the team about, he responded it was about getting to know them. He wanted to get to know every player and every family before training camp started. He wanted to start to open up space where they could learn about each other and grow together, so when training camp begins, it's all business and right communication. Right communication allows your leader or your mentor to spot holes. When you're in communication, you're able to quickly course correct and get back on track as soon as possible. Isn't that true?
Yes.
Right, when you're not in communication, days, weeks go by, and you get off track, you have a bad month. You should have a bad month. You maybe have a bad day or two.
Yep.
But it should be, right? It should be right back on track. Like, let's get refocused, let's get it going again, right? 4, self-improvement. Okay, I'm gonna get through this quickly. We're at 9:06. We're we're doing decent on time. Self-improvement. Be a better you. You can't solve a problem with the same level of thinking that you had when you got into the problem. That's what you got. That's what got you there. You constantly have to upgrade your have to be upgrading your thinking, how you're reacting, and how you're growing as a person. Change is necessary. Be a problem solver. On a team, every person has 2 buckets they are carrying around. It's either a bucket of water, it's a bucket of fuel. A leader throws a bucket of water on issues. Individuals with poor mindsets throw a bucket of fuel. It's your responsibility to continuously grow as a person and as a leader. You must grow or you must go. Be evolving at the pace of the team. Be on the leading edge of the team. Be the person that's developing the most so you can help the team out the most. We all have the responsibility to live a healthy life, to have a better life. Get healthy. Figure out what you believe in. Get healthy financially. When you're paying off debt and you're saving more money, you feel better about yourself, which means you're going to be more capable to contribute to your environment. Get healthier physically. When you're physically healthier, you have more energy and you're able to contribute more. It's supposed to say 5. This says 1 here, but 5, never quit. Quitting becomes a habit. Quitting on ourselves has always been easy. Now we quit on every responsibility, relationships, physical fitness, our diet. However, quitting on a team should never be an option. People have built you into their 5 and 10-year plans. People believe in you. Make a decision to endure. Right? We talked about this. Right? I put this on the WeChat. Right? Most people can't endure. They have no staying power. One little hiccup, one little roadblock, one little setback, and they want to give up. It's like building a business, building a WG business, building residual income takes time. And it takes a constant effort. It takes consistency. But you can't give up when it gets tough. Make a decision to endure. Make quitting the last resort. Quitting should be like that red button that has the case over it. You never want to touch it. Now, there's a difference between quitting because of an excuse and quitting because of a condition. If I quit on my workout plan because I broke my leg, that's a condition. There's nothing I can do. But if I quit for meaningless excuses, but don't quit for meaningless excuses or flashy alternatives. Nobody likes a quitter. Don't get the reputation of being someone who quits. Let's end on this. The next time you think your actions are only affecting you, remember this message. Your actions affect everyone around you. Listen to this. Your actions affect everyone around you. You are a source in people's lives for pleasure, but you're also the source for pain. You have the opportunity to become a better teammate today than you were yesterday. We all must be worthy followers and teammates before we could be worthy leaders and mentors.
Wow.
Was this a good way to end the meeting?
Yeah.
So we want to, you know what I mean? So I want to constantly be training on, you know, product sales, getting better at the marketing and you know, sales stuff, but also your mindset and you know, creating an environment that's conducive for growth. You know, we want to constantly be growing. Everyone in here's got to have each other's back and be helping each other succeed, help each other get to the next level. So what you do matters. It's no, we're all, you know, we're paying attention and we want to help you. We want to get better, but you know, start to implement some of these things. Go through this. It's on Facebook. It's on, you know, it's on this website. You know, you guys can see this right here. It's powerful stuff, you guys. You know, Steve's a close friend of mine, Stephen Holbrook. And so Steve's a good friend of mine, and he's spoken at our Wealth Bowls. He's been to our elite academies. I have his number. He has mine. You know, we've spent some time in Hawaii together on several occasions, and he's just a stand-up dude. And if you know his story is incredible. You know, he'll probably tell a story again at convention. You know, this guy's like faced death a couple times. You know, just you know, he has Crohn's disease. And this guy's almost at $1 million a year, and was on his deathbed. You know, and almost died a couple of times. Had almost all of his intestine removed. Had his colon and his rectum removed. He's been through some challenges physically, and in spite of that, he still makes no excuses. Still showed up to BPM. I mean, after that stuff, you know, and still putting in the work. You know, so it's like, you know, so this guy knows what he's talking about. He knows what he's doing. He's got a great story, and the stuff that he puts out there is solid stuff. And I think this was one that I felt that we needed to share. You know, we all can get better as people, and especially like in this case, we all become better teammates. We're good, but good ain't good enough. Good is good. You know, they say good is the enemy of great. Most people never reach great because they settle for good. Right? Well, I'm all right at that. No, how about you be the best at that? You know? So take something from this, you know, reread it, and you know, start to implement this stuff in your mentality, in your attitude, in your communication, in your feedback, in your activity, that you're part of a winning team, and we're counting on you. You know, we appreciate you, right? We appreciate you. We want you to win. We're going to help you, but we're also going to challenge you. We're going to make you better. And you know, what you do matters. What you do matters. What you do makes a difference on the team, good or bad. You know, good or bad. So make sure you're monitoring that stuff so we can get to the next level. Sound good?
Yeah.
All right, you guys have a great night. We are going to go to Shamrock's.